under every single post, repeating the same poison, like it defines my life. They say I live like a beggar, like someone pretending, like someone with nothing. They don't know mornings. I wake with purpose. They don't see nights. I fight myself silently. They judge through screens, through edited seconds, through borrowed opinions, through borrowed courage. They comment without knowing. My silent discipline daily, my unseen sacrifices alone, my battles after midnight. They think loud words equal real power. They think insults create instant truth. But listen carefully now. This is my confession, not shouted for applause, whispered for understanding. I read every comment. I feel every word. I absorb every insult. I stay painfully human. Sometimes it hurts deeply. Sometimes I go numb. Sometimes I laugh quietly. Sometimes I question myself. I ask mirrors honestly, am I really nothing? Am I pretending strength? Am I lying online? Then memory answers back, with scars and receipts, with nights survived alone, with hunger and hope. You don't see effort. You don't see growth. You don't see patience. Because patience stays invisible, you only see results or temporary failures. You don't see process. Because process looks boring. They comment everywhere loudly. Because silence scares them. They repeat insults obsessively. Because they need attention. People projecting brokenness often attack reflections. They hate reminders of what they avoided becoming. I live quietly focused, not loudly approved. I build slowly, deliberately, not fast for validation. My life isn't luxury. It's alignment and grind. It's choosing growth daily over cheap tempo, rare applause. You call it poor living. I call it discipline. You call it nothingness. I call it foundation building. I don't flex meals. I don't flex clothes. I flex consistency and emotional self-control. While you refresh feeds, I refresh my mindset. While you mock journeys, I walk them patiently. You see one moment, I see long vision. You see now only, I see 10 years. Your comment stays digital. My work stays physical. Your words fade quickly. My habits compound silently. I've been underestimated before. I've been laughed at. I've been doubted loudly. I survived every time. Pain taught me structure. Rejection taught me focus. Loneliness taught resilience. Silence taught self-respect. I don't reply often. Not because I'm weak, but because energy is a limited resource. I invest mine wisely, not everywhere emotionally, not under every insult, not into empty arguments. You comment under photos. I comment under destiny, with actions and effort, with sweat and patience. They say I'm broke, but my mind is rich. They say I'm nothing, but my vision is heavy. Heavy with responsibility, heavy with future plans, heavy with people counting on my quiet success. I don't need defending. My consistency defends me. I don't need explaining. My progress explains itself. Every insult fuels fire. Every doubt sharpens hunger. Every mockery becomes motivation. Every comment becomes reminder. Reminder why I started. Reminder why I continue. Reminder why I stay humble. Reminder why I stay focused. You don't know background. You don't know family pressure. You don't know expectations. I carry without complaining. You don't know my prayers. You don't know my promises. You don't know tears wiped before sunrise. I live like builder, not like entertainer. I live like learner, not like pretender. You confuse simplicity with failure and weakness. I choose simplicity to avoid unnecessary distraction. My life isn't aesthetic. It's intentional and raw. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but deeply honest always. I post progress moments, not the painful process. I share highlights sparingly, not every struggle publicly. Behind calm captions, our storms survived silently. Behind steady growth, are nights of doubt. You comment everywhere watching, because secretly you're curious, because deep down you're wondering why I keep moving, why insults don't stop me, why silence protects me, why discipline surrounds me, why growth keeps showing. You call it luck, I call it consistency. You call it acting, I call it authenticity. I live within means, not within opinions. I answer to conscience, not comment sections. One day you'll stop commenting, because growth intimidates spectators, because success silences critics, because results speak louder. Until then, comment freely. Type whatever comforts you. I'll keep waking early and building quietly daily. This confession isn't anger, it's clarity and peace. I don't hate commenters. I understand them deeply. They speak from wounds. They project unfinished stories. They shout unmet dreams. They attack moving targets. I forgive silently and continue forward, because my life is bigger than comments. I live like student of discipline and patience. I live like warrior, learning before winning. Say whatever you want under every single post. I'll let my future reply on my behalf. This was only beginning. Part 1 confession ends. If you're still listening, then stay for more. They didn't stop commenting. They never really do. Different posts, same insult. Same sentence recycled endlessly. You live like nothing. You live like poor. You live like failure. They say it proudly, publicly. At first I ignored, then I reflected deeply, because repeated noise sometimes hides hidden truth. I sat alone quietly, phone face down breathing, asking myself honestly, why does this trigger me? Not because they're right, but because pain remembers old days of scarcity, old days of self-doubt, days when survival was the only goal, days when dreams felt expensive and risky. You don't know hunger of wanting more life, not money only, but dignity and peace. They comment like judges, but never saw trials. They speak like experts, but skip the journey. Let me confess something. I wasn't always strong. I wasn't always confident. I was once afraid of being seen, afraid of being judged, afraid of staying small, afraid of dreaming big. Those comments echo voices from my past, teachers who doubted, relatives who laughed. You won't make it. Be realistic instead. People like you, stay in your place. So when strangers comment, it reopens memories, not wounds exactly. But old fingerprints remain, yet here is truth. I didn't quit then. I didn't quit now. I adapted and learned. Every insult refined me. Every joke hardened me. Every doubt shaped me. Every delay matured me. I learned to build without announcing progress. I learned to grow without public validation. I stopped explaining myself to people commit misunderstanding. I stopped proving worth to people benefiting from doubt. They want reaction because reaction feeds ego. They want replies because silence terrifies them. Silence means progress. Silence means unbothered focus. Silence means self-belief. Silence means inner control. I mastered silence slowly, not overnight magically. It took discipline, an uncomfortable restraint. Sometimes fingers itch to type explanations. Sometimes ego whispers, defend yourself loudly. But wisdom interrupts and asks one thing, will this build your future or ego? So I close apps and return to work, return to books, return to long vision, because no comment ever paid my bills, no insult ever built my character. I live intentionally minimal, not because I'm broke, but because clutter kills focus and momentum. I choose delayed comfort over instant flexing. I choose inner peace over online applause. You call it boring. I call it sustainable. You call it low life. I call it long game. I'm not racing anyone. I'm running my lane. I'm not copying lifestyles. I'm crafting mine carefully. My life isn't loud because purpose whispers. My goals aren't public because protection matters. I don't owe transparency to people feeding negativity. I don't owe updates to spectators of struggle. What you call poor is me conserving energy. What you call nothing is me becoming something. I invest in skills, not trending aesthetics. I invest in mindset, not temporary admiration. While you scroll endlessly, comparing lives bitterly, I compare myself to yesterday's version. Growth isn't dramatic, it's repetitive and boring. It's showing up even when those who comment daily never stayed consistent. They quit silently, then mock publicly, because watching someone persist reminds them painfully of promises they abandoned and courage they never used. So they comment everywhere, trying to feel relevant, trying to feel superior, trying to feel something. I don't hate them. I understand psychology. Pain speaks sideways. When unhealed deeply, this confession isn't revenge. It's release and clarity. I'm no longer triggered. I'm anchored internally. Let them comment more. Let algorithms show them. Let words circulate. I'll circulate progress. One day results. Won't need defending. One day silence will look like wisdom. Until then I stay grounded, humble, focused. Living below means thinking above limitations. If you're still listening, this part matters most. I didn't survive insults. I outgrew their relevance. Part 2 ends here, but journey continues.